So, today I wanted to talk to you about loving upgrades because we all have that favorite food that we know doesn't love us back. We all have something that we crave or would like to eat more often, but we know that we may get a stomach ache or gain weight or have brain fog or get tired or what have you. And what a loving upgrade is taking that unhealthy food and making it healthier, called a loving upgrade. So we don't feel psychologically like we're missing out. Because so much of what we do when we are doing fasting or eating well, we have the fear of missing out, the FOMO. We have well, everybody else is doing it, and how come she doesn't have headaches or acne or weight gain when she eats that food? But when I eat it, oh my gosh, all heck breaks out. And we still want to eat it. So then we eat it or we don't think about it because we have an emotional trigger that triggers us to eat it. So you got to find loving upgrades. So what are some loving upgrades? It's kind of like eat this instead of this. And so, a couple that I'm going to share with you that I do that have been satisfying usually stops the craving and I deal with it. For example, this past week, I was craving Tater Tot Hot Dish of all things. And I remember eating that at the high school lunch program when I was in high school many, many moons ago. And I loved Tater Tot Hot Dish. Well, I was craving it this past week, but when I make Tater Tot Hot Dish, I get 2 pounds of grass-fed beef, sliced up cabbage, real small, onion, garlic, green beans or peas, either or. And then I slice up the potatoes real small. And this summer I grew potatoes, so I had a whole bunch. And I slice them up real small, make sure I season them pretty good with some Himalayan sea salt. And you can buy gluten-free, non-GMO, organic cream of mushroom soup. I got it at Whole Foods. And so I mix that all together. Sometimes I'll add celery. I mean, it all depends kind of what I have. But that was a loving upgrade. I made it, I ate it, and I felt so good. So there was no rice. There was some potatoes, but you have a serving, how much are you going to get? And it was surrounded with protein and fat. So that's a loving upgrade. I really like spaghetti and meatballs. So I have a big garden. I make a marinara out of potato, or not potatoes, tomatoes, zucchini, onion, garlic, sometimes kale, basil, olive oil, and salt and pepper it. I'll bake that, roast it, stick blender it, and then freeze it in my freezer, usually flat in freezer bags, so it stacks up nice. But that's my base for my marinara sauces. And then instead of using noodles, I will use either artichoke noodles, which you can find at the store, and they're kind of just, they don't have a ton of flavor, but take on the flavor of whatever it is that you are putting on it. Or I use spaghetti squash. So that is a loving upgrade. I'm not having the pasta, I'm having a fibrous item. So the artichoke noodles, which comes in a bag, and all you have to do is heat it up, or miracle noodles are called, or you could use the spaghetti squash. Another loving upgrade, hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate, especially around a hot fire. Sometimes it's nice to put a little peppermint oil in it to make a peppermint mocha type of thing. But my hot chocolate, I have hot chocolate, but it's the paleo protein. So one scoop is 21 grams of protein. And I called the company a while back and they test it like a couple times a month when they're making this to verify that there's no lead or heavy metals or any other bad stuff in it. This all comes from meat. There's no glues or gums or anything in it. This is all a huge amino acid profile. One scoop is 21 grams of protein. I mix it with hot water and bang, you're ready to go. I don't even put any sweetener in it because there's a little bit of stevia in it. But this is a loving upgrade. So if someone wants hot chocolate in my house, we have this. And I love hot chocolate, but this is a great way to get that extra protein in and verify that you're getting it in. Now, I do give 20% off to all my customers whenever they want to order. This comes in vanilla, so I use the vanilla for like, a tea creamer or coffee creamer. The chocolate is great for the hot chocolate, or I'll even add some of it to batter, like protein batter, when I'm making protein pancakes for the kids. So we do have some of those things. What's another loving upgrade? Cauliflower pizza. You can make really great items with that. I never tell myself, no, I can't have that sweet, because if you tell me no, I say psychologically, oh, yeah, watch me, I'm going to do it. So I always negotiate though with myself. I'll say, okay, Beth, you can have that brownie that's sitting at the table over there at the party that you're at. But you have to have a protein, a fat, and a colorful carb first. And colorful carbs are veggies. So when we eat in balance, protein, fat, and fiber or colorful carbs, it stabilizes our blood sugar. And therefore, we don't want a lot of the other stuff, or we'll want less of it. So before you grab for that first sweet thing, the worst thing we can do is be hungry and grab for sugar first thing without anything else in our body. But if you're gonna have some sort of sugary treat, make sure you have a protein, a fat, and a colorful carb in your system first so it slows down the glucose load. Now, any amount of sugar is still not good for us. But if you absolutely have to have a piece or something, shut those portions down. Negotiate with yourself. Have the protein, fat, and colorful carb first. And if you can have a loving upgrade, instead of hot cocoa, have this. Instead of noodles, do the spaghetti squash and modify the recipe for the tater tot hot dish. I mean, those are all just example. Beef stroganoff is another one. Beef stroganoff, great. Make sure you get the gluten-free, non-GMO, organic um, cream of mushroom soup to put in it. But the noodles, instead of doing noodles, I do cabbage because cabbage is a pretty neutral tasting thing. It will take on the flavors. So beef stroganoff, I make it with cabbage, and the sauce is obviously upgraded as well. So hopefully these little tips on loving upgrades is going to be super helpful, because I know that if people feel deprived, psychologically they give up or they don't do what they are supposed to be doing in order to attain their health goal. And then it's kind of all out the window. But I never tell myself I can't, because if I tell myself I can't, then I'm going to get mad and I'm going to say, oh, yeah, watch me. So, what loving upgrades do you have in your life that you use for your special loving food that you know doesn't love you back? Let's find those loving upgrades. I can probably support you in that, but make a comment below. I'd love to hear what your loving upgrades are and what has helped you. In the meantime, have a great day. And remember, if you don't make time for wellness, you'll be forced to make time for illness. Have a great day.